So in the last two sessions, we have understood on one hand, there is a material world. In the material world, our body, mind, breath, intellect, and ego house everything that we possess, we have or we don't have, social, professional, eh? All about family life. That is all about the material world where I can see, visualize, experience through my senses and the mind. Matter, material world. And then there is a subjective reality. If we do not unshackle our mind, forget about, we may be attending these sessions for 10 years, nothing is going to happen. What is the main secret? I don't want to change. I will listen to you, I will understand, I will practice it, but I will not change. So if I have that understanding, that thought in my mind, which I call the salty ego, that I will talk later, then there is no change in life. So the moment I have to unshackle, I have to shatter the illusions of everyday life, and I have to unlock the deeper truth. Otherwise, we don't become a seeker. That is why our master says you have to become a seeker. So what we have to do, simple things. Every day I have to sit down and I have to ask myself, I have to question everything. You got upset with your honey, ask yourself why you got upset. Is he or she is responsible, or am I responsible? I don't ask this question. I just take for granted. The other person, the world outside, is responsible for my problem. Then every day in our meditation you will feel very good, and after the meditation mind will again blame and complain. First question, I have to question everything. I have to question every reality. I don't see you, John. Be open to something far greater. How my phone is working? That signal is present everywhere in this room. In your room, it is the same provider. So I have to ask myself, how come it is possible? Signals present in the air and the space, I cannot see the masses. I cannot call anyone, but the moment I use the instrument phone, the same signal can carry that message. I have to question. If I don't question, okay, let me believe you. No. Second is embrace the fleeting. Understand what is fleeting, what is changing constantly. Question, is this money changing, my body changing or not, my relationship changing or not? If I don't question, I cannot break the illusion at all. You may do anything you like. Even the Buddha appears before you and you say that I will get you enlightenment, you won't get it. Because you are not changing your mind and your behavior and your attitude. 1 hour session, I'm a very spiritual guy. 23 hours then? What happens 23 hours, 6 days a week? It will not work. Third, I have to look beyond. That is what the science does. That is what a seeker has to do. Look beyond. This is a wall. I have to look beyond the wall. So I have to explore. Wall is made up of matter. Matter is made up of atom. Atom is made up of molecules. Molecule is made up of what? Electron, proton and neutron. The physics proves it. An electron moves around the nucleus. Nucleus contains the proton and neutron. And now the latest understanding in the physics, matter is nothing but the energy. It is energy. I don't see the energy through my naked eyes, but this energy appears as a wall. If I don't question and I simply, oh, let me practice meditation, I feel very good, it is not changing us. Third factor. Fourth one, I have to start with a hypothesis that I am all pervading like an ocean, like a space, and I have to prove it. You need not to believe it. You have to start with a hypothesis. How? Like a geometry theorem. Science starts with a hypothesis and it proves it step by step. I gave you an example before. Three angles of a triangle is equal to 180 degree. You might have studied geometry in your primary and the middle, especially in the middle school or high school. So the master gives you the answer. Three angles of a triangle is 180 degree. Prove it. So if you don't follow the process, you don't prove it, you don't get any marks. So that is the fourth aspect. We are of the nature of peace, happiness, love, truth, and wisdom. Prove it. Prove it. But we don't want to prove. Why we don't want to prove? The past habits and ideas. We want to carry those ideas and habits in our life. That is the problem. We don't want to remove that. Then what happens in the fifth step? Freedom through self-knowledge. The path to the liberation from suffering is self-knowledge. So when I follow the 4 steps, I find out here is a self-knowledge. Here is a self-knowledge. What is that self-knowledge? Self is of the nature of peace and happiness. So if I don't challenge, if you do not challenge your perception of the reality, nothing is going to happen. Why? Because I don't change my behavior and attitude in my life. And the moment you change your attitude and behavior, you move towards peace and happiness. Otherwise, only after a week, you do the practice and then only you feel calm and relaxed, and after a few hours, I live my same life. That is not what the Eastern wisdom is. That is not what the Eastern wisdom is. How long, how many years it will take again to realize this and to be ready and open to change our behavior and attitude? We have already been 3 years now. Don't appreciate me. Appreciate yourself that you have changed your behavior and attitude. Teachers of Eastern wisdom, we are not concerned about how much you appreciate or criticize. You criticize yourself. How dare I got upset because of something outside, because of my relation outside. I should not get upset. We don't think. What we think? Oh, you make me upset. You made me crazy. Society is like this. It is not going to work at all. Do whatever you want to do. You will not be able to enter into that permanent peace and happiness. Another way to understand beyond the map, discover your unchanging truth. Beyond the map. What do you mean by beyond the map? Are you mistaking the map for the territory? do I mistake my ideas that you are wrong as a territory? You caused me the stress. That is what I mistake the map for the territory. My mind should be so open, clear. Where is that clarity? I have a clarity that no one is responsible for my suffering. It is my mind, it is the illusion in my mind. Then only I can move to the next step. It is not a theory, it is not a philosophy. It is applied wisdom. If you don't apply that wisdom, do whatever you want to do. We are often caught navigating life's twists and the turns, believing the journey is the destination. Journey is not the destination. In the journey I have pain, it is not a destination. Tomorrow I will have a pleasure, that is a journey, that is not a destination. Destination in Eastern wisdom is to find that real self. We find this is journey. We find marriage is a destination, then we are ready to divorce, we get remarried, or we feel now it's so, now I'm not going to get married. You are not doing any favor to the existence. You are creating problem to yourself. Journey is not a destination. So what we should be doing, again I told you, analysis, reflection on my life. So what is the first point of reflection? My daily experiences and knowledge, what we call the material world, are crucial for navigating the life. Whatever the situation I am in, whatever the situation, that is the best situation existence has given to me. Now I have to see whether I claim the journey as a destination or I separate the journey. Today I have a problem, I recognize, I analyze and reflect on it, and the problem is gone. Tomorrow is a pleasure, I recognize it is because of the attachment, it is gone. If I don't recognize, reflect, okay, let me practice meditation, it will not work. Second factor is the external happiness is an illusion. It builds big ego. So I have to analyze in relationship with objects, with possessions, with the things. You may have $1 million in your bank account. Are you happy? External happiness is an illusion. You don't have it because you have an expectation. That is why you are unhappy. Remove the expectations of having $1 million. You are already happy. So if I don't analyze and reflect, what I will get in office, leave that part with you. Otherwise your mind will say, yeah, I'm just pointing you. Third factor, there is a deeper, unchanging reality. I have to focus my mind on that. That is what the subjective world is. It is beyond the material world, a transcendental reality that exists beyond your senses in the intellect. I gave you an example of the wall. Physics says it is all the waves, it is energy, nothing more than that. Matter is just an energy. but I see it is as solid. Energy cannot be solid. So that understanding the energy, looking at the wall, is the spiritual aspect of this wall. Same way, there's beyond the body, mind, intellect, and the ego, there is some entity which is what the spiritual consciousness is. So we are going in discovery of that. So there is a deeper, unchanging truth. If I am not open to it, how can I be open? If I am already engrossed, attached to the material world, my mind is constantly blaming, complaining, reacting. The world outside is responsible for my sorrow and happiness. My mind is already obsessed with the world outside. How can I search something inside? I should be ready to drop it. But if I'm not ready to drop, then I'm not becoming a seeker. I'm listening, it is just a pastime. And that is why there is no change. That I can judge and understand. Fourth point is that is the most important point. In Eastern wisdom, we see that reality is not affected, influenced, dictated by anything in the world. It remains permanent. It is unchanging. So I have to sit down every day to reflect what is unchanging in me is the reality, is the goal of the self-discovery. Inner realization, that is the inner realization. What is the inner realization? That there is something in me which is unchanging, that cannot be affected by the time and the place and the location, that is of the nature of permanent peace and happiness. We should, with that understanding that I don't know yet, but I have to find it out. Hypothesis. It has nothing to do with religion, dogma, cult, and belief. So when I become a seeker, my mind is pure, it can easily reflect, it can sense that there is something. When I get absorbed into meditation, I get a glimpse of it. And when I continue the journey, I realize it. Inner realization leads to the freedom. Find out a guy who has never studied physics, not exposed to any knowledge of the physics, and I say to him, "Oh, what do you see? Wall. Ah, this is not a wall, this is just an energy." So that guy will prove that I'm crazy. Anyhow, that is what you guys are proving me. Okay, let me attend it. Otherwise, nothing is going to happen. There is nothing is permanent. Why? Because we don't allow mind to think, contemplate. Inner realization is required. That leads to the freedom from the suffering and understanding what is that real self is. So we have understood in these two topics beyond the map, and we have to unshackle our mind. Nothing is to be done outside. Your relations may be the craziest. I have to do nothing. I have to change my perception. So once you have understood these two topics, the third topic comes, then we break up into parts. So we understand what is the false I, what is the real I, what is permanent, what is temporary, how we define it, how we understand it, and how we maintain awareness. But why we have to understand what is permanent and what is temporary? Because my mind claims what is temporary is permanent. I'm 67 years old and I color my hairs, beard, outer appearance. Maybe I look like 20 or 30 years old, and that is exposed when I say I have two kids, both are married, and they are going to have the kids. And I have the grandkids at the age of 20, 30, so I'm exposing myself. But because I'm so much dictated by the illusion, now still you look that still I'm 20 years old. This is one example. We have millions of temporary identifications claiming as permanent. That is the cause of my anxiety. So that is why we need to understand what is permanent, what is temporary. And then we have to observe our life. Huh? Oh, today I went to the party, invited me, but no one appreciated me. Very good. Learn the lesson of endurance. Appreciate yourself, that at least you are able to maintain your calmness. No, everyone should appreciate me. I stood 2 hours before the mirror so that, at least everyone should appreciate me. Everyone is busy in their own life, temporary and permanent. Temporary and permanent. I have another woman who was in Canada. She could not visit me here in US. You already know because of what is going on nowadays. So we were talking on the video conferencing, and he said, "Girish, what happened to you? You look so old." "Oh yes, I know you are 4 years senior to me. You look so young." I want to stick to what is temporary. I don't want to hold on to the truth. I don't want to accept. I strongly identify with the body. And I said, "Yes, you are 70 years old, 4 years older to me, and you are still looking in your 20s and 30s. Fake appreciation. We like that. It is not going to work. It doesn't mean that we should not take care of it. We should not take care of the hygiene and the wellness. Yes, we should take care of it. We should take care of it. What is the point? Permanent and temporary, false in the real self. What is independent and what is dependent? That we are going to take up in detail in our next session. I'm just throwing some ideas. What is independent and what is dependent? Someone dies, what we say, body has come. Now the body is going for cremation. Someone knocks the door, we don't say your body has come, we say you have come. So it means that you is present in the body. That is why when you knock the door, I said welcome. that you is absent in the dead body. That is why we say the body has come. So I have to find out who is this you, which is absent in the body, which is present in the body. Eastern wisdom says it is your real self. It is, what is that real self? It is of the nature of peace and happiness, love, truth, and wisdom. You see everywhere. Can I move this body without the presence of that real self? No. Body is just converted into, it is already a matter. Who is holding this? It is that real self. Who is holding the mind so that I am able to speak? It is that real self. But my friend, you may be listening to me continuously. I may, but nothing is going to happen if you don't take a step. If you don't take the step, if you don't sit down and work on yourself, nothing is going to happen. Close your eyes. Eyes are closed, and place position in posture. Preparatory stage. Preparatory stage means we are preparing for a voice to the self-discovery. In the preparatory stage, I kept 3 steps. If you don't follow these 3 steps and you think that, oh, let me do something deeper, it is not going to help you. So again, I'm trying to break this month that, let us see. So the place you feel, you know, you experience the place of the body. You look, you feel, you know the position of the body. You know, you feel, you are aware, you experience the posture of the body. Check the mind. Is the mind creating trouble, disturbing you? Is rushing outside and inside? It is because we did not contemplate and reflect. Being comfortable. So in being comfortable, we change the direction. Why? To discover the comfort within, not outside. You may buy a mattress costing $5,000 to get a good sleep. Your sleep is still disturbed. So the master is very clear. I have to change the direction of the mind. What it means? I don't rely or depend on anything for being comfortable. I have to think in that way. And once we are clear, then the mind says what to do. Or simply do nothing. Look at the neck joint. Know, feel, and experience sensation, comfort, and steadiness. Look at the shoulder joints. So you play with the mind. Mind has been playing with you. So just look, feel, and know the shoulder joints where they are. Your mind goes there, you stay there, doing nothing, you experience sensation, comfort, and steadiness. Yes, you play with the mind. Mind, just look at the hip joint. Be there. Be there means you are aware. You know the hip joint is here. You experience. What do you experience? Sensation, comfort, and steady. If you don't experience, it is because of I don't want to break my old habit and conditioning. I have a big ego. Move the mind on the knee joints. You are aware, you know, you feel. What do you feel? Knee joints. What do you feel? Sensation, comfort, and steadiness. You can try this week. Just being comfortable. That means at least 10 times during the day next week. How much time it will take? Hardly 3 or 4 minutes, maximum 5 minutes. You try to play with your mind. Oh, let you give the same instruction as I am giving you. Your mind may say that, oh, my mind, look at the ankle joints, feel no experience, sensation, comfort, and steadiness. For example, you don't experience. Repeat it. Mind, look at the ankle joints, and still it does not happen. It simply means the mind and our that I-ness carries the impulsive and habitual nature, do not want to change. So by repetition, repeat practice, it happens. No, I'm very busy, I have to do a lot of things. Keep on doing it. Remain busy. It will not work. Now move the mind on the entire body from the top of the head to the toes. Top of the head to the toes means you feel, you know, you experience the skin of the body from the top of the head to the toes, and experience. What do you experience? Sensation, relaxation, and stillness. So that is what. So you have to pay attention. You have to be little. We need little bit of commitment. If we don't have that commitment, it's not going to work. And then, in that state of being comfortable, we move to this is also the preparatory step. What is that? Being carefree. So after changing the direction, finding the comfort, when you are comfort, we become, what happens? We become more aware and attentive. We become more aware and attentive. In that awareness and attention, what we have to find out or discover the birds flying in the sky is separate and different from the sky. That I know. Your mind says instantly that I know. Yes, the birds are nothing but the thoughts in your mind and a space in the mind. They are different, separate. One is the knower, other is the known. One is the subject, other is the object. Other is object. There are millions of objects and only one subject. What is that subject? That subject is called the knower. Space in the sky is one. So what is being carefree is so simple yet very challenging, who maintains the big ego, this delusion, impulsive habitual nature, who sticks to they will not find it. Now, with the same metaphor, I am saying in a simple words, where is that? There are thousands of the birds flying in the sky. Does anything happens to the sky? Thousands of birds? Now no bird is there. Did anything happens to the sky? Is the sky craving for those birds? No. Is the sky feels heavy when the many birds are flying? No. So many thoughts are coming, good, bad, high, low, let them come and go. Behind that there is a space, like the sky, in the mind, always present. That is the subject, that is the knower. And the birds may come, may not come. Birds are there, sky is still there. Birds are not there, sky is still there. That is known as the knower and the known. If we do not see it, why we don't see it? Ignorance, delusion, big ego. What the ego does? Ego mess up. How it mess up? You have to contemplate and reflect even in meditation. If a single bird is flying in the sky, sky says, I am the bird. I know intellectually you will say this is craziness. So when there is a thought of an anxiety, why you say I am into anxiety? Anxiety is a content of the mind. So because in ignorance and delusion, with a big ego I mess up, I claim what I am not. That is the meaning of being carefree. Yes, now we will move deeper in the stage number 2. So we have done the preparatory step. So we ask the mind to moving within and living within. That is our stage 2. So what happens if the previous steps are done with awareness and you experience, you have a chance to move deeper. So today again we are taking up the passive steps. We settle the mind. We settle the mind deeper within. We settle the mind deep within. Means what? Means what? It means living within. Means what? What is the meaning of living? What is the meaning of living within? By living within means does the entire world lives in you? No. Only except me, no one else lives. The world does not live in me, I alone. So I alone, we find the sense of emptiness infinite space. That is our principle. And now look at the head and the neck. Move the mind on the head and the neck. You move the mind on the head and the neck, and you experience sensation, relaxation, and stillness. You see, they appear as if there is no connection. What I said? Look at the entire right arm from the shoulder to the fingertips. No feel and experience sensation, relaxation, and stillness. So if the mind is messing with this material world, we have a big ego and a delusion. It will raise the question how moving the mind on the right arm can lead to sensation, relaxation, and stillness there. It is a fact, it leads there. So when there is an objection, the mind will go out, you will be lost. You will say, I have lot of thoughts, or your mind will say, I was lost and I was sleeping. So it means I did not do the preparation. Move the mind on the left arm from the shoulder to the fingertips. You know, you feel, you experience sensation, relaxation, and stillness. But I did not answer the question. When the mind moves within, millions of thoughts, continues to keep the mind on the surface, attached with the material world, is left out. When it is left out, you experience what is already there. What is already there is sensation, relaxation, and stillness. We did not create it, it is already there. Even after logical understanding, the mind will not pick up. It is not the question that I am a genius or my IQ is very high. Because it prevents the mind. What prevents the mind? I have already explained you. Move the mind on the middle portion of the body, from the shoulder down to the waist, front and the back. Sensation, relaxation, and stillness. Move the mind and the right leg from the right side of the waist. Mind gently moves on the skin, reaches to the toes, and experience sensation, relaxation, and stillness. So when you are doing the practice regularly, if it doesn't happen, I'm saying sensation deepening, relaxation is there, and stillness is not there, it means I need to repeat it. You should remember. Move the mind on the left leg from the left side of the waist to the toes and experience sensation, relaxation, and stillness. The entire body, from the top of the head to the toes, sensation, relaxation, and stillness. So we have helped the body and the mind to settle down. I believe you understand the meaning of being settled. So when the body and the mind are settled, not frequenting outside in the material objective world, we can keep the mind living within. How? Look at the breath, observe the flow of the breath. You're not doing anything. You're just looking. Looking means, when your eyes were open, I was speaking, so by default you were looking at me. It is not making any effort. Same way, you are just aware of the breath going in and out. You feel the sensation of the breath going in and out. And you do not change the rate and the rhythm of the breath. Do not change the rate and the rhythm of the breath. And if that happens, you just start counting the breath. Last time we did it. The moment the breath goes in, very small thing that you do. You watch carefully. Don't let single breath without counting. When the breath goes in one, mentally, non-verbally, without moving the tongue and the lips. When the breath comes out one, in two, out two. Go on counting the breath. If the mind continues to maintain its awareness on the breath, then obviously we can hope for some change. If it is not, we have to repeat the practice again and again to reach to that state. So let's, doing nothing, remain as you are. Just remain as you are. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your mind on the right hand, your mind on the left hand. Lift your both the palms, place it on your eyes. Open the eyes inside. Know your experiences. Bring the hands down. How are you, Sophie?
Oh, I'm very good, Girish, thank you. I have been practicing this counting, and I'm stunned. I was stunned at how my mind all of a sudden would just drift out, and I was not even aware why or what it drifted out.
That is what we discussed in the two topics today. Our impulsive nature, our habitual mind says, I don't want to change. What I am right. I don't contemplate and reflect. So you are stunned, which is not unnatural. The mind has those thoughts in the form of impressions in the seed form. But the mind wants a continuity by counting, and our material mind wants to break that continuity because of those impressions. So you are right, it is nothing to be stunned, it is so natural for the habitual, for the impulsive, and that is attached to ego. We will talk about it. My ego says, I'm okay, I'm doing good, why should I change? I've already said sorry to you, and I continue to keep the burden in my heart. So there are millions and millions of those impressions. They may trigger during the practice of meditation. They break up.
Does it make a difference if you just count 1 in, 2 out, 3? Doesn't change it.
No, doesn't change. That is another excuse of the mind. Mind says, I want to keep the same habit. If I do 1 and 2, will I change?
Yeah.
Well, if I let me do it 1 and 3. No, let me do it 1 and 5. This is another distraction playing by the mind.
I could count this time without problem.
Yes. How are you, Charlie?
Hi, I'm good. Yes, I was counting. I was able to follow the counting, and then I was aware that I was above my body or out of my body. I was present. I just was kind of looking down somehow, but I was still doing the practice.
Yes, that seems to be a good experience. About the body, obviously, a sense of transcending the body consciously, a conscious experience. Why? Because the mind maintains a homogeneous state on the count. It is not disturbed. This is a little bit subtler. We'll talk about it. Very good. How are you, John?
Hi, Girish, I'm fine. You were talking earlier about distractions. I did not have any distractions tonight, no extraneous thoughts, so everything's good.
Beautiful. So now we have to see how we should not have distraction during the day in all my activities. It is not just only during the meditation. So if there is an absence of distraction during the activities, living my personal, professional, and family life, what is going to happen? Your mind is not impulsive, not habitual. There will be a change in behavior and attitude. but it has to be during the day also. Meditation is not sleeping. Oh, I will sleep in the midnight. No, meditation has to pervade my all activities in my life. That is going to help. That is the next step. How are you, Meet?
I feel also calm
Good.
and peaceful.
Very
And
good.
I feel that I was able to follow the process
Very good.
more fully without trying to follow the process.
Very good.
Yeah, I feel happy.
So it must change my behavior and attitude during the day. My mind should not go back to the same blame, complaint, reaction, anger, and anxiety. If that happens, then it is worth. If that doesn't happen, it is not worth. It is not worth. That is all. Thank you very much. Thank you.